Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, hope you're well. I am actually sitting on the roof of the harem, the top floor of the harem, and coming live to you from this Mubarak place. And I just want to share with you something which is very relevant to this place and very relevant to what is happening to our Rohingya brothers and sisters. Subhanallah, the Kaaba is the Qibla of every single believer. We pray towards the Kaaba, and it's an amazing, majestic place. Wallahi, for those who have never seen the Kaaba, when you come to the Kaaba, you see the Kaaba, it's just an amazing experience. It's like you're awestruck, and the dua of a believer is accepted when he first sees the Kaaba. But I want to remind us of the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was doing tawaf around the Kaaba, and he turned towards the Kaaba and he said to the Kaaba, "O Kaaba, indeed you are honorable. Your status is great in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but the status and the blood of one believer is more honorable than you." Subhanallah. I mean, what amazing words. And today we see the suffering of our brothers and sisters, our Rohingya brothers and sisters. And it really, if we are sitting here in the haram and the Kaaba is in front of you, really brings it into context that La ilaha illallah, that these brothers and sisters, the Rohingya brothers and sisters, have been suffering for many years, many decades. According to the UN, they are the most persecuted minority in the world. So alhamdulillah, I know brothers and sisters all over the world, brothers and sisters, while I'm currently speaking here in the UK, are actually attending marches in the UK. But they can't stop there. It needs to go further now. The momentum has been created. We need to put pressure on those who are in authority, our local MPs, our local councillors, our local ulama, that they need to speak out upon this issue. And we must alleviate the sufferings of our brothers and sisters. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alleviate the sufferings. Actually, I want to also share with you a hadith, which is an amazing hadith. It's a narration related by Imam Bukhari rahmatullah alayh. And it actually occurred on the 9th of Dhul Hijjah, so Yawm Arafah. And this was the final khutbah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And in this final khutbah, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stood in Arafah. There were approximately 124,000 Sahaba, according to some 140,000 Sahaba radiallahu anhum there. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, addressing these Sahaba radiallahu anhu, la ilaha, he asked them what day it was. Then he asked them what month it was. Then he asked them what city it was. And then later on in the hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the blood, that the wealth and the honor of a believer is as holy as this day, this month, and this city. Subhanallah. As holy as Mecca, as holy as Dhul Hijjah, as holy as the day of Arafah, the greatest day in the year. Now, subhanallah, I just want to share something here. The ulama say, normally when you give an example of one thing to the next, for instance, so you do an analogy. So you say, Zaydun ka'asadin. Zayd is like a lion, because Zayd is brave, so you are equating Zayd with a lion. Zayd in his bravery like a lion, but the lion is more braver than Zayd. They say in this hadith, when the Prophet ﷺ equated the blood, the wealth and the honor with Makkah, Dhul Hijjah and the day of Arafah, he said this is one of those few exceptions where actually the thing which has been equated is greater than the thing which has been equated with. So the blood, the honor and the wealth of a believer is more holier than Makkah. Holier than more Dhul Hijjah, is more holier not only than Dhul Hijjah, it is more holier than the day of Arafah. Subhanallah. So we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alleviate the suffering of our brothers and sisters. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevate their status. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us a source of helping our brothers and sisters. Barakallah feekum. Inshallah, I will remember you all in my du'as. Inshallah, I'm in the haram. I'm sitting on the roof of the Kaaba, well, on the roof of the haram at the moment. And inshallah, you remember me in your du'as. Barakallah feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.